Hey guys, this is J360. I'm frustrated. Currently, I'm having execution issues in this game, and it's not when it comes to doing really cool stuff like this. Combos. No, none of that, right? I have the hardest time doing this. Or this. Or this. In match. And I finally found the reason why. There's an invisible culprit in this game that seems like it's not used at all. It seems like a button that wouldn't affect anything because it's not registered. But it's ruined more of your games than you think if you've had this issue. PlayStation 4 controllers are infamous for having analog drift. Analog drift is when the analog is moving ever so slightly, no matter how centered it is. It's moving in one direction and it just holds it, right? Now, this isn't an issue that normally happens on the left analog. In my experience, it's happened a lot on the right analog. So, you know, you say to yourself, okay, in this game, I mean, you don't use the right analog for anything other than the customization area or the crypt. So, how does it affect matches? Well, I found out that this invisible culprit is indeed the right analog. I purchased a ps4 controller from Target that had this drift issue right out the box, and I didn't realize that until maybe about a month later. At first I thought it were just Bluetooth issues, but it turns out that the right analog has drift issues. Now, I have to open it and fix it, but I wanted to make a video about this first so that people can understand how much of a hindrance it actually is in this game. So, there are two things in this game. There's a sort of an input override that's been in MK for quite some time. Raptor made a video on how to cancel unsafe strings, right? And that has to do with input override. Now, when it comes to the right analog, it participates in that input override, and in the most annoying way. So, let's say I'm going for 3-4-4, right? I could do it a little slower. I could do it pretty slow. Just not that slow, right? So let's say I do it this fast. 3-4-4, right? Now, analog drift, as many of you may know, sometimes will go away and then just come back randomly. This is what happens when analog drift is happening. Notice how fast I pressed 3-4-4. I even pressed it a third time in the time that 3 hit. I'm going to do it again. Cancelled. I'm not getting the 4-4. And that's analog drift. What I was doing while doing that is just slightly moving my analog or rotating it. Rotating it will get it 100% of the time. And it happens to everything. It happens when somebody does something that's -10 and you're like, oh man, I'm going to punish with 1-3. Psych. Look at the inputs on the left. I feel crazy when I'm going for a 1-3 and I don't get that to happen. So this is more so of a warning. This happens with any character. I'm mashing too. Look at that. I get it initially. And it doesn't happen. This is a warning to everyone who has a somewhat faulty PS4 player. Mk11 does not have the option to disable the analog sticks. In accessibility, there is not an option to disable the analog sticks. This is a problem. If we had the ability to disable the analog sticks, and I'm not too sure how easy that would be, that would remove the frustration that half of us feel when we get a hit. Because most people go through this and they don't even realize that aside from them maybe pressing something the wrong way, this can be the culprit half the time. So, this is the easiest string I have to confirm. And I can't do it. That's it. I'm gonna fix my controller now. Hopefully that's gonna fix the drift issue. As some of you may or may not know, it's not necessarily a mechanical issue. It's more so a digital sensor that's under it. And sometimes that digital sensor can either be defective or it can have dirt. So open it up, try to clean it out, try to fix it. Watch tutorial videos for sure. I don't want anybody ruining their controller because of me. But yeah, if you're having these issues, make sure you don't have a drifting PS4 analog controller. And if you do, get it fixed. J360, I'm out.